All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ovando Running Podcast where we talk about everything running related, ultra running, race tactics, and equipment. This is our first episode. I'm the host, Tim Vale. I've been doing ultras for about 2 years now, and joining me, we got our co host, Jake Ferguson and Cade Bamrick. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Jake.
What's up? I'm Jake. I've been doing ultras for a bit too. Uh, yeah, I like running far. I like
Um,
hundreds.
I'm Cade Bamrick. I have yet to run 100. Um, Run a couple marathons. I'm only about like a year into it,
And
but
50K.
I hope I like running far.
You do.
Well, we're about to find out in a couple months.
We are about to find
Um,
out.
so actually on this episode, we're gonna be going over the Mogollon Monster 100. Jake, if you kind of want to break down the course and kind of like terrain wise, what's going on with that course?
Yeah. Yeah, so the normal course nowadays is a point to point 100 plus mile race along the Mogollon Rim escarpment. It goes up and down the rim 6 times. It's rugged, it's rocky, and it's steep. It's where the Mogollon Monster is originated. And basically the course is really steep up, really steep down. All the climbs and descents are super rocky. And then the bottom of the rim is rocky and the top is really smooth. That's probably the if you want a 30-second breakdown of all of the advice you can get, that's what it is. I think that sums it up. It's in Pine, Arizona. Yeah, that's about all.
And I think one thing people forget about this course is if you look at it, like on the website, it's very I think deceptive because you think 100 miler with 16,000 feet. And you look at the course record like almost 21 hours. It seems like a fast course, but then when you get out there and you actually see the climbs, it's pretty gnarly.
The most
Cool. Well,
deceiving course you'll ever see. By like, people say San Diego 100's deceiving. Don't get me wrong, that's a hard course. It's deceiving, but this is it just doesn't get any more deceiving. It feels like double the amount of climbing that you get, and it's tough.
100%. So, yeah, thanks for that breakdown, Jake. So today we actually got our friend Harsha here. He just ran his first 100, and I mean, I don't know if he really decided to. We kind of talked him into doing Mogollon for his first 100, but yeah, Harsha, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Tim. So, my name is Harsha, and yeah, these guys just talk to me and then like just sign up for this race because I think I had the fitness, but then yeah, I just signed up. I think it was three weeks prior to the race, and then yeah, I was able to finish my first 100-mile race, and I think I just got hooked onto it. So it'll it'll only be it only gets better from this point. So
So, before running the 100 miles, what was the farthest you've ever ran?
the farthest I ever did was I think yeah Canyons 100K. So it's like 100K is like what 63 miles with some 12K of elevation. But Canyons is on it's mostly on the Western States Trail, so it's runnable. But yeah, Mogollon is it's a monster trail. Like Jake said, it's deceiving. It's very hard to run the course. And yeah, the course record is 21 hours, but yeah, it you got to like work extremely hard to like break that record. So because of the climbs and all that.
So,
So I remember when I sent you the text like about Mogollon, I sent you the ultra sign up link, and it seemed like you signed up pretty quick. What was like the deciding factor of that?
Well, it's a hard race. Like, what's the point of doing an easy 100 miler and say, oh, I did my first 100 miler. So, I mean, it was a hard race. I was like, okay, the worst case, I would just tap out. The best case, I would just cross the finish line. So, it worked out.
to
Awesome,
put into
man.
perspective, too, I guess before I forget, talking to your pacer also ran, uh, well, Canyon's 100K, right?
No, yeah, last year. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
when I came into the finish, your pacer goes, dude, that was harder than Canyons. The 40 miles of pacing, he said, was harder than the 100K. That
yeah.
100K has almost as much vert as Mogollon. So that shows how deceptive that vert is. To
Yeah.
put it into perspective.
And then, Cade, have you ever been out to that part of Arizona before? Or?
No. The furthest I've been is like Flagstaff, I guess. So like kind of close, but like the terrain from Flagstaff down to the Mogollon Rim is completely different.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to see any of the first like four climbs? Did you ever walk down or anything and like check them out at all?
No.
I mean, there it's. Would you say some of them are kind of like that last ascent, Jake, or
Oh, yeah, you didn't get to see the last ascent. No.
that are
The last
different?
descent is equivalent to the first ascent, where they're both the easiest on the course.
Ryan was kind of like pointing out like the different canyons and stuff that you guys were like coming up and stuff because he kind of knew the course a little bit, so he's like pointing stuff out to me along the way. I didn't really get to see that much, other
But you
than
can tell
the
when you
roads, and then yeah.
look off.
All right, so now that we kind of just like talked about the course a little bit, let's kind of go into like our expectations going into the race and like expectations and goals. Harsha, what were some of your like goals besides just like obviously finishing your first 100, which is a huge accomplishment?
Uh, okay, so my A goal was to actually go for a sub 24. Because if you remember, I think for the first 4 miles, I was with you guys like first 4 or 5 miles. And then I just saw Tim just woof taking off. And then I was like, no, 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 I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to blow up my quads at mile 15 or so. But so I remember like slowing down, but then I was for the first 6 or 7 miles, like I was well within the sub 24 cutoff. And then even after two climbs, like I remember I caught up with Jake on the fire road, and then like he just bombed the downhill section, and then I'm slow on downhill, but I'm fast on the uphill. But I caught him twice. But I think it was at mile 30, the Fish Hatchery aid station. I blew up both my quads, and then that was when I thought plan A is not possible. So plan B is just finish the race. I seriously like probably I think I need to do a bit more of strength training because when you're aiming for sub 24 or time, especially on the Mogollon course, your quads has to be like super like hard, and then yeah, I think probably lacked a bit of strength training, but yeah, from there on it was just okay. Like just next aid station, making sure that you're like intact, and then just go finish the race.
I like that going out bold on the first 100. I respect that.
Yeah,
Jake, what about
I
you,
remember
man?
like I was at the aid station, and then Jake was like Do you have everything like gels and water? Because we were going up Mortal, like just before Mortal, and he's like, "This is a long section. Just make sure that you have like everything." And then he just left the aid station. Yeah, I couldn't catch up with him after that.
Yeah, that's a longer stretch. I remember that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you killed
Jake, what about you, man?
me. Sub 24. That was the goal. It wasn't even to finish. I was like, I finished this thing. I'm gonna race it. I'm gonna go. If I have to quit, I have to quit. And I guess I'll get into what my dumb excuses are, but yeah, it didn't even come close, man. Didn't come close. That was freaking miserable, but we'll come
Yeah,
back. We'll get
I think we both kind of went into the race with the same intentions, like sub 24, maybe try
one
and
out of three
podium,
success.
but,
Yeah.
it happens. All right, cool. So, yeah, I think like Harsha was talking, we kind of just, that first climb, a lot of people are going to take off in the front because they think they got to get ahead. But we just kind of took that really easy, hiked it up. Um, yeah, so what did you guys think of like getting to that first descent? Did you guys have any like plans for when the descents come? Were you gonna like bomb them or like just kind of take it easy? Or Jake,
I was
what were you?
I was gonna bomb it, dude. I was like, oh, that's where I can make up time. I was like, I'm not fast on the flats. I can climb steady. I'm not scared of the climbs, but I'm not gonna blow up. And I was like, I'll just rip the fire roads. That's kind of my whole plan. I was like, I'll just do fire roads, you know, jog them, whatever. Like I did that first one at like maybe 9:30 average, like not quick compared to any of the people in the front. Um, and I was like, I'm gonna make up time on the downhill because that's every race that I've done well. I just pass on the downhill. Never really pass on the uphill. Never get past, or maybe get past a little bit. But dude, yeah, right away. So I go sick downhill. Let's go. Instantly, that that ankle, that left ankle. It wasn't even the left ankle that was bugging me. I always have injuries in training, yada yada, and they never show up. Dude, like it showed up right away on the downhill. I was like, no, this isn't good. So I started like, trying to like step where my foot would step like outward and not inward. And I was just in my head, I was like, well, this isn't good. Like we're gonna keep going. I was like, well, I guess the downhills aren't it today. Like I can't run downhill very quick. I was moving, but dude, I got passed by a couple people, and that was the first time actually in the last like 4 races I've gone past downhill. So I was like, this isn't off to a great start, but whatever. I'll just make it up. So
It
already
it
on
kind of it kind of seems like both of us kind of started having issues pretty early on in the race, cause yeah. So as soon as I hit the flats, because my biggest concern was having you catch me on the climbs. That was like the one person I was thinking. I was like, dude, I can't let this. I know this guy is a stronger climber than me. Like, I have to take the flats like to my advantage. So I like started taking off on the flats, and I hit that first descent. I'm probably in like, I don't know, 17th or 18th around there. And because I'm thinking like front of the pack is gonna bomb the hills like super hard. So I just start taking off downhill. I'm bombing it. I'm like we were talking before, I don't really think like since we had just gotten off Ray, I don't didn't wasn't really scared of blowing my quads out with 16
same.
whatever 15 16,000. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So I just start bombing down and I start passing a bunch of people. And next thing, I think coming into Sea Canyon, that was the first aid station. um, I found myself in second place, and
Wait,
that was
what?
that
I didn't
was
know that.
yeah. So I see Jason Baker because it was a little out and back.
Yeah,
So I see Jason Baker like halfway to the aid station. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good.
yeah.
because I was expecting everyone to go super hard. So I come into the aid station and I'm like, yeah, this is not good. I need to chill. So I just started like power hiking and I just started letting people pass me.
Yeah.
And I mean, that first climb really isn't that the second climb I mean really isn't that gnarly. And I'm just cruising up it and then all of a sudden I start feeling like I have the flu. I just start sweating like really bad and I'm not even like putting in effort, start sweating. I start shivering. Like I start getting the chills. Mouth starts watering. And I was like, oh, I'm about to throw up. So I literally get off the trail and I'm like on all fours trying to make myself throw up. And I'm like this is not good. This was I think the biggest low that I had just because like my mind started telling me, hey, you've already been here before. You have a buckle. Why are you doing this again? Like, there's no point of, continuing on if you're going to be in pain. So finally, after maybe like 5, 7 minutes of sitting there, I get back up and I'm like, well, if my body wants to throw up, it's just going to happen. So I actually got up to the aid station on the top of the rim, and I just was sitting under the shade for like probably 7 minutes, just like contemplating. Like again, I was just, having conversations with myself, and then finally I just got up and I was like, well, if this is altitude sick, if I'm starting to get sick from the altitude, I need to get off the rim because, being up high and chilling there isn't gonna do anything. So, were you guys both feeling pretty good when you got to the top of the rim for the second time, or Harsha? What
Yeah,
about you?
walk the whole thing.
Or
Well, I I think I'm good with altitude, so altitude sickness was never an issue with me. Uh, but I think on the second climb and onto the fire road, I felt good. I think that's when I caught up with like Jake because I had to like use the restroom at Sea Canyon aid station. So I spent a lot of time over there, and then like I caught up to Jake and I was like, okay, so I did a good time. Uh, but then I think after going down was because I have never been on the Mogollon course, so and I know it's steep going down, so I couldn't like kind of like bomb those sections, so I was like very slow and then kind of use my hiking poles to maneuver and stuff. Uh, but yeah, there was no issues with the second climb. I think it's the climb up. I think you said the race starts at Myrtle, right? So it's just it's a climb after that where it's really like challenging.
Yeah.
and Jake, you were saying like you already started like walking at that point, or what were?
Okay, this sounds so whiny, but literally the moment we got up the top of the climb, the first climb, I remember saying, I was like, oh, I see my legs to loosen up. Like I don't know what's going on. I was saying that, dude, and they just felt dead. I was running, dude. I was like having trouble holding like the 9:30 pace on top. Like my legs just felt like I ran a marathon, and I was like, what is going? Like I didn't run the first climb or anything. It's like what is going on right now, dude? And I was just like, okay, I'll go. Let's warm up. It just never. Like I on the second part of the rim, I'm running on the road, and I'm like, dude, this is so hard to run. Like my stomach was all bloated, and my legs were just bricks, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. How is this? How and everyone was passing me, and I'm just like, I was like, it doesn't. I know it doesn't matter, but in my head, I'm just like, bro, this is so bad. I was like, how am I having a low? And my low started 4 miles in, 3 miles in. I like what run have I ran in my everyday life that my low starts 3 miles in? And I don't think I was cooking or anything. Like it wasn't like I was sprinting. Like and like there was things going into the race where in my head I'm like, oh, I don't know if this feels right. Like my ankle, dude, my like legs. I was like, but just ignore it, dude. And it just wasn't good. And it's okay. But like I knew when I wasn't running those flats, I was like, this is just so bad. But And then that's when Harsha caught me, and I was like, dude, I'm having a low. Like, I'm like, we're not even like a half marathon in, and I'm like, dude, this is so bad. Like, what is going on? Like, I've never felt like this. And then I just was so pissed off that I just hauled ass down that steepest descent. I was just so angry. I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna freaking haul ass. Like, I don't care what happens. And it cheered me up a lot. Like, it was pretty fun, dude. I just started hauling ass. I ate shit. I like sprained my wrist. That's why I kept having one pull. And if you look in the videos where I kept holding one pull because I sprained my wrist on that descent. Dude, my whole leg was like cut up. I was just like pissed. So I just started hauling ass and seeing what I could do. But like, I don't know, dude. I was just like, my wrist dirty over. I'm probably just gonna quit when I get to my mom, which I never do, dude. I'm like, ugh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's rough, especially like that early.
We
So
were wondering
correct
why you
me.
had one pole.
Yeah, because my wrist was hurting, dude. I
We're
couldn't
like, did you
hold
lose it or
it.
something, or did you break it or what?
No, because I biked yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
dude, but I couldn't like even like squirting the gels. Um, that would hurt my hand. Like,
Yeah.
it's like squeezing the gels. I was like, this sucks, bro. Like, I don't think
Kid,
I've ever been wrong.
when was the first? I can't remember. When was the first section where like you actually got to see us?
The second aid station. So like mile, like 20 something.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
okay.
I
So
couldn't.
The
Horton. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They were like driving on the
So
road.
yeah.
so after
Me and
we.
Ryan went and got breakfast in the morning first, and we are a little late getting out there.
I'm glad you guys were hanging out. I was like, thank goodness. You know, I'm just.
We went to a cafe, and then we were sitting there, and then we like put in the map and how long it was going to take to get there, and it said like an hour 20. We're like, ooh, we should have left a while ago. That's funny.
And you guys just camped out right in the runner drop off, right? The shuttle area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
There's a bunch of people camped out there, and I mean our options were to go to your hotel or go to Jake's campsite. And then Ryan's like, dude, I've been driving all day. Let's just go up to the dirt lot up there. And I was like, all right. We just pulled in there. There's like 30 other people camping, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that seemed like it worked out pretty good. So then after, so I think the videos that they'll put on like YouTube or show the pictures is that second, or would it be second descent is the kind of the super gnarly one at the top. What
Yeah.
is that? Do you know the name of that one? I can't.
No, Promontory is the
It's
one
not
that you like.
promontory. Yeah, so coming into that gnarly descent, I mean, that's the one where you see pictures where there's like a log across the trail and it's just super steep. People are using their
Yeah.
poles and falling. Harsha, what did you think when you first rolled up on that descent? Like, what was going through your head?
So I think at that point, Jake and I were like running side by side.
Yeah, we were next to each other.
Yeah, and then we just come up to that point, and then like Jake was like, boom, he just started running downhill, and then I was like, what the hell? Like that was not runnable at all. And then this dude was like, just bombing the section. But then I did start following him because I also like probably my thought was let's use him as a pacer and then just follow him. But man, I couldn't like probably one fourth into it. I just tried to kind of glide and not brake, and it was hard. Like I kind of like probably I would have had a bad fall if not for my hiking poles. So then I slowed down, and then I was like, okay, this is not prudent. So just let's just navigate this section and then maybe gain some time on flat sections or runnable downhill because I read the course and then I knew that this was one of the toughest downhills, and then the downhill after this is pretty much okay runnable. For example, I think the fifth downhill or the sixth downhill. So my plan was to just not do anything stupid, just it's probably not, I wouldn't say hiking, it's like power hiking pace, just go as fast as you can, but just don't run. But
Hey,
one thing that helped me, I mean, the views were awesome. So I could like
Yeah.
just enjoy the views and then carefully like figure out the terrain and then but that's where one of the runners told me that somebody dislocated their shoulder in that section.
Did you not see him?
Yeah. I didn't see him though, but yeah, I was just hearing like from runners at the aid station, and then like behind me it's like, hey, there's one person who dislocated his shoulder. So I was like, okay, this makes sense
He was like
because it,
right in front of
yeah,
him. 'Cause I saw him when I came down. He was right there.
but he's he
and,
just yeah, he just started running again.
and I'm pretty. Did he finish? I don't know
Yup,
if.
yup, savage.
Yeah,
He
so
finished.
Yeah.
shout out to a dislocated shoulder guy for finishing the race. um, Harsha, was there like any point where you were thinking, oh, I'm not listening to these guys when they send me a race again, or like, because I know that's what was going through my mind when I did it last year. When we got to that descent, I kind of realized what I had gotten myself into. And I was just like thinking to myself, gosh, dude, whenever Jake sends me a race, I'm not signing up for it anymore.
And then you signed up for your race.
Yeah.
No, but I like type 2 fun, so this is my kind of race. So I actually enjoyed it. I never thought, okay, why the hell did I sign up for this? And I was like, okay, this is interesting, and let's just enjoy and like finish the race.
Yeah, it looked like you were
Yeah,
having fun the whole time. Every time I saw
yeah.
you, you
Oh, for
smiling.
sure. Like, my nutrition messed up big time. It's partly because of my mistake because I didn't figure out properly. But had my nutrition gone well, I would have definitely like probably ran better. And then the last sections, I was like totally gone. So it's just because of my nutrition, just couldn't
And I
eat
think
anything.
it's like too nutrition. Like I think, people will always talk about like training the gut and all that, and it for me that's something that I don't think has happened really quick. It's taken like I would say like 2 years. I would say this is the first race where I was actually able to like be able to constantly take something every 45 minutes to an hour without having any stomach issues. So like that's just something that's going to come with over time, like, and knowing what you like, I think. What
And
do
we're
you think
gonna.
on that?
I'm gonna put
Dude,
Yeah.
say that no one trains their gut as hard as Tim, bro. I've seen that dude just sit there and eat goose. He'll slam freaking high carb mix just sitting there, or at work, or just for dinner.
you
So,
know,
Yeah.
yeah, the how like I knew my gut was messed up because I had good chocolate croissants in my drop bag and I was not able to eat them. I was like, what the hell? Like, I've been like just eating croissants and running like all over all this time, and then I had to like just throw it out. It just didn't go in.
Yeah, that's funny because like we call him the croissant king because like that's his favorite fuel. So yeah, you're having issues when you can't even eat your favorite food.
Yeah.
um, what did you guys? I mean, that when you get down to the bottom and there's that spring, what did you guys think about? I mean, Harsha, what did you think about that at the bottom?
At the bottom of the second descent.
Nah, the wasn't the spring like right before, like
Oh,
the
gotcha. The
yeah
Horton
the
Springs.
Horton
Yeah,
Springs.
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Horton Springs. I actually just probably like 1.3, 1.4 miles leading up to the Horton Springs. Dude, I ran out of water. Like, I had like three flasks of 500 milliliters. Probably one 500 milliliters was like scratch nutrition, and then I had 1 liter of water. I just finished everything. So I had to like run as quickly as possible to the Hot Springs to just get water, and it was ice cold water. So that was nice. But
Yeah,
I,
it's
I,
kind
I
of
didn't filter it though. So and I saw a lot of folks not filtering it, but
Yeah.
that's a
No, I do
brave move.
filter.
But I'm not I'm not trying that, so I just filtered water. I know you didn't filter it as well.
No, I didn't need to. It's clean.
I didn't filter either.
I didn't need
So
to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little throwback to last year, but so coming up to that, it's kind of you wouldn't think like you would need water, like a mile from the aid station, but it always seems like I mean the both times I've ran it, I've ran out, and that spring there has saved me. So last year, because it's not really. I mean, I would say if you're not looking for the spring, you can run past it like pretty easily because it's like kind of like hidden behind the rocks. Or, there's the sign, but if you're not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
looking for it, you can easily go past. So my thought process was, okay, I know there's a spring coming up. It's got to be like the first body of water that I see. So, and I'm super thirsty. Jake and I were running together, and we come up under this body of water, and I see, people are drinking out of it and all that and filling up their flask, and I'm like, oh dude, I'm so thirsty. So Jake had a filter, I didn't. So I pull out uh my pack and my bladder, and I start filling it up, and I'm just chugging, dude. It tastes so good. And some girl coming up behind us starts laughing, and she's like, you guys know that's not like where you're supposed to fill up the water, right? And I'm just like, me, Jake. Well, Jake was fine because he had a filter, but me and a bunch of other dudes like look at her. We're like, really? And she's like, yeah, it's like up a little further. It comes right out of the rocks. And I'm just like, well, too late now. Like if I get sick. So I remember I would always tell people this year, like, hey, make sure you go past the little crossing because just in case, because like who knows, dogs are maybe going in there and but yeah, I just thought that was
It's
pretty
just
funny.
stagnant.
Yeah. I'm just sipping out of it. But yeah, and then so after we hit that spring, I think, in my opinion, I think this is the gnarliest climb.
Agreed. No one
Go,
says that. I agree. By
yeah.
far the worst.
So you hit this. What is it like? Just over a mile or something
Maybe.
going up,
Yeah.
and then you.
It's steep.
So
I
yeah,
think you
um,
climb like 1,000 feet if I'm correct.
It's
I
over a
just need to check
thousand.
my splits again, but it's a huge climb. Yeah.
and I think it's something that people don't really talk about, like you were saying, Jake. The main climb that people are always talking about is Myrtle. They got all the yeah, but yeah, dude, that one that what is it, the Horton climb, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, dude, that one's just relentless because I feel like it just keeps getting worse as you go up, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's like a false summit somewhere in there too, where you think you're almost at the top,
Maybe.
and
I
then
don't
it kind of
remember.
just goes up. Yeah, but that one just seems like it keeps getting worse. And it kind of starts to get a little exposed at the top too, which kind of sucks too if it's definitely you're going to be in the heat. So
And you
then,
could go off course. That's
mm-hmm.
because it's kind of like tricky. Last quarter of a mile, once
Yeah,
you
it's hard
hit,
to follow.
yeah. There are flags though, but then it's kind of like switchbacks, and then it's easy to just get off course.
Yeah.
For sure. So we get to the top of that, and it's like we're gonna hit some fire roads, and then you descend into fish hatchery, right?
Bro, I
I'm
lost my
pretty sure.
mind here.
What happened?
I saw my mom. All right. Oh, that's when I saw a silly runner. and then I was talking to him for a bit. But then I got to, and then I went to my mom. And I just gotta say it really loud. I was like, dude, I just been wanting to quit since Mile 2. Like, this is terrible. And then everyone around me is just like, oh, I'm like, bro, this sucks. And then so I ate a bunch of food with my mom, or like ate a bunch of shit. It's like I'll keep going, but like, fuck, dude, this just sucks. And then I left and I fucking forgot my poles, dude. And like, I don't know, I'm so level-headed. I'll say this a lot. I'm so level-headed. Like I get angry, but I lost my shit. I ran like no, I ran like quarter mile, and then I realized I lost my poles, and I was like, fuck, dude. I like screamed. I was just so angry at this point because I was like, this isn't how my race should be going. Yeah, I know it's not going to plan, but I was like, this is just like, could not, like, this is just going terribly. This couldn't be going any worse. Like what? I was so angry, and I saw, what's his name, Eder. And I looked, and I was like, fuck. He's like, it's okay, dude. Like, you can turn it around. I went back, grabbed my pole. He's like, you got it. You can turn it around. I was like, and I just looked at him and like, he didn't. He was so nice. It wasn't him that made me mad. I was looking at him. I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, I wanted the same time as him. Like, I was looking at his splits from last year. Yeah, I remember looking at his splits because he was like 23:40. I was like, I'm hoping 23:50. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not saying I deserve to be running well, but like, dude, I was just like, this is not like what I thought was gonna happen or how this should have went. Like, I've never felt like this, and I was just so angry at that point. And I was running on the rim with this dude, and I was so angry. He was like the nicest dude ever. I was so positive. He was so positive, and I was just like in my head. I told him I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm upset, but like, dude, I just don't know what's going on today. Like, I'm just so upset right now. Like, and then he's like, it's okay. I was like, it's okay, dude. I was like, I'll be fine. I'll get down there, and we'll just keep moving and see what happens. Like, and we'll find out. I don't know. I'm never angry, dude, and it's just this whole race just made me so freaking mad.
Wait, so you had to run a
Okay.
quarter of a mile back, get your
Yeah, I had to
poles,
run back and get my balls, dude. It made me mad.
Hey, so if you wouldn't have had to do that, like for sure, sub 24.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
blame
dude,
it on
that was it. That was the only thing that went wrong in my race.
Hey, so Cade, did you get to see him at the top of that climb, or were you there with his mom, or?
I saw them after.
Yeah, after.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I wasn't there quite yet. Is
okay.
that where I saw
So
you on the
then,
road though? On the
I was
fire
in the
road?
bushes, yeah.
Yeah.
what were you doing in the bushes?
I don't know.
Did you see
I
Bigfoot
left my
steps or
poles in the
something,
bushes
or?
too, bro. I left my poles. I did my whatever. I left, and I go, fuck, dude. I left my poles, and I ran back looking for them, and I couldn't find them because it was like thick bushes. And then eventually I found them, and I was just like, at that point I wasn't even upset. I was just like, what the fuck, dude. Sorry, I'm cussing at this point.
No, it's fine. Oh, that's funny, dude. It's funny, but it's like I'm sure in the moment, yeah, it sucked.
It's funny now. If I knew what my time was gonna be, I wouldn't have cared, and I would have thought it was funny. But like, I don't know.
So then, was it raining on you guys at that point, or when did it
You're alright.
start?
Didn't get a drop.
Dang, because I know, dude, it was weird. It rained almost the exact on me. I got soaked, almost the same. Remember when me, you, and Rachel were going down fish hatchery and it started like raining, it started rolling in. So because fish, that's my favorite descent. Like I love that descent. Um, so I'm going down it and the same thing happened. I start seeing clouds start rolling in and I'm like, oh, this is like flashback to last year. So I get to the bottom. I think I ate something. I might have got like a PB and J or something. Ate real quick, and then you go on that because that's a. I'm pretty sure it's the longer section, right?
That's the
Where
yeah,
longest
you're,
one. Yeah, it's so long.
yep,
yeah.
it's the over 12 miles.
So you come down, and then you're running at the base of the rim, and it can get like kind of hot too because temperatures. What would you what do you think it got for you guys?
80s. I don't
High
Dude, it
80s,
was hard
mid
because
80s, mid 80s.
yeah, it was hot. Be- because they said even like 1.5 liters of water is not enough for that. So
it's not.
Yeah, so I guess this is kind of a good time. What, like gear wise, how much water were you guys carrying? Harsha?
uh, I just had three flasks. That's it, like half a liter flask, and then I just had a 1 liter flask with filter. So that was only for hot and springs. And then my plan was if I also find any streams on the way, I'm just gonna just scoop it and then just drink water. So,
Okay.
but to be fair, it's just half 1.5 liters at every point. So that's the max I could carry.
Same.
Set 1.5?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we were all carrying around the same amount. If there
yeah.
was like someone that was coming in and was thinking about doing this one, and they're maybe kind of new to the game, would you recommend like 1.5 or would you say go more?
I would
That's
recommend them
1.5
to.
enough.
Yeah, 1.5 is not enough. But if you train uh, properly, like in the sense like have one training day where it's a hard day and then you just don't drink water,
Bro,
just do it like Killian. So
this is
and
BS,
then
dude.
that
I'm calling you guys out, dude. There's no optimized. What is it? Optimized water. I'm trying to make a OFM correlation, dude. It's not a thing.
yeah, so
So
if you do that probably it'll be helpful, but if not, I would say you need 2 liters of water. And I did see runners with extra bladders as well. So they had like half a liter and half a liter tucked somewhere in their running vest, and then they were kind of like changing it back and forth. So uh, yeah, 2 liters would be ideal, especially in that section.
That section's long.
I definitely agree too. Um, yeah, so going back to kind of the course, yeah, so as I was leaving Fish Hatchery, I just start getting freaking dumped on, dude. And I had ice in my bandana because I was like, this it's gonna be hot, and I was like, I just dumped it all out because I was afraid I was gonna start getting cold. And then of course as soon as I do that, it starts breaking and it starts getting all hot and muggy again. But yeah, that section
So did you run
definitely.
back and grab the ice and put it back in?
Dude, yeah, so I was like a mile and a half from the aid station, and I'm like, I might as well just go back. I'm pretty close. But
That's why he
yeah,
got
that
second in the quiz.
dude, probably the hour and whatever, hour and a half, I could have won, dude,
Could
if I
have
didn't
caught
do that.
Browning.
Dude, maybe. And then maybe I could have seen the monster. I maybe could have found the monster.
Could have held it.
Uh, Harsha, I know before the race you were talking about. Is that where they had the chickpea sandwiches, or at Fish
Oh yeah,
Hatchery, or did
yeah,
did did you
especially
get
yeah.
it, or how was it?
It was good. That was one. Yeah, that was I think the last aid session where I ate like really good, like chickpea sandwich, and then they had PB and J's, and then chips, and then lots of Coke. Dude, that aid station was good, and
Nice.
kind of like helped at Mortal as well. Like because of this climb, and then it's like probably you spend like more than 3 hours, like my pace, because my quads were gone blown at that point. But
Uh,
yeah, chickpea sandwich did help.
Jake, did running that section bring back flashbacks from last year, or
Yeah, I was less angry this year, and that was only 30 miles in. I was less angry this year than last year, but that's still saying something. Like, bro, yeah, that was stupid.
So because I know that section. I mean, it's a lot of like cutting in and out, going along, the base of the rim, and it kind of all starts to look like the same, but it's all super. I would say it's all super runnable. Um,
I
were
wish,
you
bro.
running like the?
No, I walked the whole freaking thing, dude. My legs felt like bricks. I felt like crap. My stomach was all. I had too much salt. I know I had too much salt because my one bladder was salt or like element, and my other one was water. I couldn't drink my salt, so I ran out of water because I couldn't drink my other flask. And then I was just like, felt like shit, dude. My stomach was just, ugh. My legs were wrecked, and I was like, what? Dude, I mean, I was close to as bad of a mood as last year at mile 80 or whatever. I was just like, why can't I turn this around? It just couldn't turn around.
One section that I was kind of looking for. I don't know if I maybe zoned out, but remember when there was all that super high brush?
Wasn't
Was
there this
that
year?
there?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, because I was like looking for that. Okay,
That's why I
good.
said that this course might have been. I don't know. I don't want to say it's easier because those last two climbs were hard, or at least the last descent and ascent. Um,
Yeah, because
it wasn't
that
there.
one section is just.
It
I
was more
mean,
runnable
you
this year.
can't even see your feet.
No, it was more
You're
runnable this year. I'll give you that. Or I'll give the course that.
yeah, and
I
also
was
too,
hoping
like I
for
think
that section.
there were some climbs too that I think that weren't not like climbs, but little inclines that I don't remember this year that were in it last year on that like
That's what I'm
flatter
saying.
part.
I think it was
And they
longer
were
this year or more runnable.
yeah, cuz dude, I was like remember looking for those cuz they weren't like little there were some chunky rock in there where it's like
Oh, I
you got
totally
to really
remember
watch your
those.
footing. Yeah.
Those weren't there this year. They weren't there.
Yeah. Cuz I knew when because that's what I was looking for because I knew I was close to Myrtle when I saw that section
Yeah, just
and I was like it kind of threw me off.
same.
Um, Harsha, did you know when you were like coming up to Myrtle, like could you see it in like the distance or
No, I could. So I had. I knew the mileage of that aid station. So the moment I just wanted to start the climb because up until then I was kind of like running slash power hiking slash walking, and then I was like kind of like doing this in a loop. And then I got tired at one point. I was like, okay, I just need to climb because sometimes when you're just running and power hiking and then you gotta like just climb so that a different set of muscles are like kind of used in
Yeah.
in your body. So I was just hoping for the climb, and then yeah, I think mortal climb is I don't know. It was not that hard compared to the other climbs. You could because you could just power hike and then
That's what I'm
just go
saying.
at yeah, just one like at a specific cadence. Just go and then just finish the climb.
I agree.
Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely
but
not
I
as
but if you read the race packet, it says for those runners who might probably end up at the mortal section during the dark.
Hmm.
It specifically says don't forget a headlight because if not, something out there will eat you alive. And I totally agree. Why? Because when you climb up, it's dude. The manzanita bushes are so I'm 5'7", so that bush is probably like 5'5" or like even 5 feet. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So yeah, that statement is so true. And if folks are like planning this race and then going out in the dark, yeah, you definitely want to carry a headlamp with you. If not, then yeah, I don't know, something will eat you alive.
and
I
we'll get
I
to
relate.
what you thought you heard later, but what were you saying, Jake?
I relate finishing Myrtle to uh leaving Ironton. Is that right?
Oh, okay. Like after you do the two loops at Ironton and
Yeah.
you go back up over the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, definitely, I could see that for sure. Because at that point, I mean, things are kind of already things are spread out,
Yeah,
and they're kind of already getting kind of set. Like,
that's how I've done.
um, so yeah, and then you run some fire road for like a few miles, and then you hit what is it, Buck Springs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty, dude. Okay, so that I think that's like the best aid station because they're super hyped up, and there's that guy on the microphone.
he goes,
Um,
if you take the whiskey shots, everyone who takes the fireball is guaranteed to finish.
that's a bold statement right there.
No, apparent. Okay, I told my mom that, and she goes, "Dude, he's been saying that." He's like, she said that the whole time, or like something
Yeah.
like that. I read that somewhere, and then I realized I'm like, oh, he's just saying that. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he was saying that for every runner, like making sure they saw the fireball bucket. Like it was crazy. He was nonstop the whole
Yeah,
time. He
that's
was
when we
kind
saw you.
Yeah, he was hiding in the bushes for some runners too, and as they'd run by, he'd do the siren. He was just, they might have been in the fireball the whole day.
He was
They were
hammered,
Oh,
bro.
wild.
dude,
Like he had.
they they probably drank most of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would. Shit.
Dude, and they had that giant fifth wheel camper up there too. Like there was a nice setup for whoever was running that aid station. They were
Did you
having
have
a
fun
blast.
hanging out there, Cade?
Yeah, it was cool. We it's kind of a longer drive to get there. Like the road is pretty gnarly. I had my bike on the back of my van, and your mom said it was just bouncing off the ground sometimes because the road is pretty gnarly. And then, um, yeah, it was cool. Like we parked by, kind of by everyone, and then we met some guy that paced 50 miles at Ouray. So,
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
we talked to him for a while, which was really cool. And
What was his name again? Did you get his name?
I have his Instagram. His
Oh, you guys
Instagram
had it. He
is
was nice. We
is
talked to that.
it's from fat to fits is what his Instagram is. 'Cause he used to
Hell
be
yeah.
like 300 pounds or something.
Oh, it's badass. I didn't know that.
And yeah, here I'll try to find his name.
Yeah, send me his Insta. We talked at that.
It's Mike
uh,
Fitzsimmons.
Gotcha.
But he said he was gonna do Ouray next year because
Yeah,
that guy that he paced offered to pace him
he has
at
to.
Ouray, so he's like, I gotta do it. But yeah, no,
Kate,
that
so
was a cool aid station.
since you were on kind of like you got the like the crew slash camera kind of perspective, would you say like it's like an easy kind of race to crew once you get up to the top of the rim, or kind of like talk us through that a little bit?
Um, I mean, the only comparison would be Ouray. So I don't know. I thought Ouray was like pretty easy for the most part because you go through Felon so many times. You go through Crystal Lake and then Ironton. That was like all really easy. But this one, it was you're out of service the entire time pretty much, and to get to each aid station, like I think the longest one was like an hour and 15 minutes or something to get to the next one. Just like slow gravel road,
So far.
and like in the middle of the night too. So it's just kind of like boring, I guess, and far. Like you'd be all amped up because like you guys run through or whatever, and we're like, sweet, let's get to the next one, and then it's like hour drive. And
Oh
it's
no.
like, oh, you like lose all the just whatever adrenaline, and then, but it was cool. Like there wasn't very many of them either, so like it was we were waiting like 5 hours until we'd see you again. So
Yeah, there's only four.
yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
just not having any service at all. Like I definitely wasn't prepared at all. But
Oh,
like
I should have warned you. I'm
so
sorry.
like just like Brittany and your mom and me and Ryan were all just kind of like comparing maps and stuff. Like, all right, we're going the right way, right? It wasn't bad, I guess.
Because I came into Buck Springs and I think this was like the first interaction that I had with you guys. And I remember sitting down and I was thinking, because I think this was the first time that no, this was the second time that I asked like where I was on the pace chart. And I remember sitting down and I asked Brittany, I was like, hey, how far ahead am I of the pace chart? Didn't she say something like 40 minutes or something like I was 40
Yeah,
minutes
you're 40
behind?
minutes off.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Because I said, how far am I off of the sub 24? And I think because she was just going off my A plan. And I remember like hearing 40 minutes, and then there's a video and Ryan's just like, but you said you're gonna sprint at the finish, right? And then I was like, and then he's all, that's your 40 minutes right there. And I'm like, that's not 40 minutes, fool. And like, as I'm getting ready to leave, I remember her saying, oh, by the way, that's your A plan. And I'm like, oh, so I'm still on track. So like that made me feel a little better.
Yeah, and it made your aid station stop so short too, because I think you were so mad right away. So you're like, "Oh, let's make this quick." So I mean, I mean, it was like less than 5 minutes, like maybe 3 minutes or something. You just sat down for a second, and you're like, "All right, let's go." And then she's like, "Oh yeah, that's your A plan." So as you were leaving, you were like so relieved. It was funny.
That's so, dude, that was the first time I felt like okay was coming into that. Because I was on the fire road, I was running, and then go like this, Tim. In my head, I go, all right, like finally we're turning this around. We're like 40 miles in. And I was like, we'll turn this around. Let's do it. I go, it's possible. I look at my split. I'm like, or my watch. I do the math, and I go, I've been saving energy. Like I've barely been freaking running for the last 40 miles. Like let's just do it. My legs feel fresh now, which is weird, but like I go, and I was just thinking of remember Otter. Otter was probably so far back at URA and just shot into like eighth place. Like he was puking, like all this stuff. And then I just think of him yelling like, I dropped my fucking pacer. Who's ready to pace me? And he dropped every single pacer that he had. Like all four of them at URA. And just like hauled the last 30 miles and went into like, he was probably like eighth place or seventh. I don't know. He was good. Um, but I just thought in my head, I go, dude, I'm gonna channel whatever he had at URA, and I'm just gonna do it. I go, I'm just gonna send it this last 60. I'm gonna see what I can do. And I come in, I hear Jim left about 30 before me, and in my head, I'm like, oh, I've been feeling like shit all day, and he's 30 ahead of me. I'll catch him. And I leave with Ryan, and Ryan and I leave. We're running, you know. This is the first time I feel okay. Finally, I go, okay, now my legs are good. They feel like they're mile one, which is, I don't know how that works. And then I tell Ryan, we're probably like 45, 50 and I'm running most of it. And I go, okay, we'll catch Tim, dude. Like, we got this. I was like, I can catch him. I was like, it's been pushing hard for the last 40. I go, I can catch him. I was like, I know I got it. And then I get to the next 8 or whatever. My mom's like, I was like, where's Tim? And she's like, oh, dude, he's gonna sub 24. He just flew through here. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I've been moving kids for the last 20 miles. How did he put that much time on me? I passed probably like in that section, so I passed probably 5 people or 10 people in the aid, and then coming out, I passed maybe 10 on the trail. I don't know what place I was in, but I was like, dude, how fast is he moving for him to gain that much time on me? But like, dude, it was chill. I don't know. But yeah, I thought I
Yeah,
had it. I go, I got this. Like I was 1/7/24, but I can get close, dude. I was like, I can do this. I can push really hard. Like let's just push, and I did. And I'll explain what happened later, but Yeah, let's hear from Harsha. That's my little section.
Well, before he goes, I think this is also a part of the course where it's like if you don't have legs to run this section, like you're gonna lose a lot of time because it's all you can run the whole thing,
It's
essentially.
flat.
Like it's all
Oh yeah.
buttery single track and like you should have your legs to run and it's like if you don't have them at that point, you're definitely losing a lot of time. So yeah,
Yeah.
Harsha, how was that section for you? And
100%.
what was your encounter or what?
So coming into Box Springs, I actually felt good, and I think that was because my lowest point in the race was going up Myrtle, and then once I hit Buck Springs, I really felt good, and I was like, okay, this is doable. Like you can really finish this race. But I remember like just finishing my mango juice, my protein shake, all my dropbacks, and then I felt really good. So when you exit the aid station, it's still a fire road, and then there's a teeny tiny left turn, which goes into. Dude, I missed that because I
Yeah.
was pumped up, and then people were like, "Oh, it's cheering me," and then I just ran on the fire road, and then probably it was point 0.1 or point 0.2 miles. I just kept running, and then I hear people screaming and shouting. And I was like, hey, what the hell? Like, what happened? And then I turned around and everybody pointing at me. No, that's not the way, wrong direction, this way. So, like, just sprinted back and then, okay, right turn. But, yeah, the fire, so that's the time where I probably gained some time where I could run. And then, yeah, I just took the correct turn. And then I think after that, it was all mostly runnable because that was the cabin loops.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and what? Tell us about that. You were telling me the other day about what happened when you were in the cabin loop.
Okay, so I think uh, so for my time, the moment I entered cabin loop, I think it was a second loop just going into the General Springs crew zone.
yeah.
So, by that time it was totally dark for me. So we were like 5 to 6 runners who were like running, power hiking slash walking at their own pace. But then if you remember that section is flat. It's runnable. So I just took advantage of that and I crossed like some 4 to 5 folks because they were just like power hiking. But then if when I did this, probably for an hour or so, I was like alone in that section. So it was just me, and then I didn't. My first instinct was like, just don't look left, don't look right. You just look at the trail, and just keep going. And then all of a sudden, I hear like, I hear somebody whistling, like out of nowhere, because I knew for sure there's no runner ahead of me, there's no runner behind me because I wasn't able to spot the headlight, and then I hear whistling sounds. So I think at first I thought maybe I was hallucinating because it is what mile 50ish or something like that, and it's more than 12 hours, and then you're tired. But then this kept on happening. I think the second and third time, the second time this happened, I just started to scream. I just screamed like I was like, "Who the hell is this?" and all that, and then I still didn't see the headlights. So, but then I just kept moving, and I think just before going to the aid station, then I see a headlight at the back. So I just kind of like I don't know why I slowed down because I knew the aid station was like probably 0.7 miles from the or a mile from that point, and then I see a runner behind me, and then he's just blasting music on his phone, and then he's the one who's like whistling and then singing, and I asked him, "Was that you whistling?" So he was like, "Dude, yeah, sorry about that. It was me." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm not hallucinating."
I
Didn't
was
see the
gonna tell you
monster.
that mountain lions whistle at each other when they're trying to communicate. They make like
They
a little
do,
whistling
or
noise.
really? Oh yeah, that would be scary then.
I know. That's. I didn't know if
Yeah,
So
you
dude.
resolved where the whistling noises were coming from, so I was gonna tell you, freak you out a little bit.
So yeah, and then you come into the General Springs. So that yeah, that's right before you go down into the power line descent. So
Yeah,
for me when I came into there, um, Cade, I think because I remember before the race had even started, I remember you were like, "Yeah, I'll pace you or whatever," and I was like, "Nah, I don't want to pace her." And then I remember him saying, just casually, he's like, "All right, I'll be at 85." And like I, for some reason, this fool knew that I was gonna need him at 85. Because when I came into there, it's funny because I remember I didn't even realize you were taking the video. I think in the video, I'm literally staring right at you, and I'm like, "Where's Kate at?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna need you to pace me," and you're like, "Right now?" And I'm like, "No, 85." So like, you called it, so that was
Yeah.
perfect. And
And
I think, go ahead.
for everyone in the, we'll attach the link to the Instagram page, and it has videos of like the whole race. So you can see what
Yeah.
that's what Tim's talking about.
Yeah, a bunch of videos. Shout out Kate for getting those.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
so
dude,
I
I
came
wasn't
into there.
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was like, I wasn't sure you were gonna need a pacer or not, so I was still like eating and drinking a lot all day long, just in case. And you're right, I was like, I didn't drink any water or didn't eat anything, and then I like paced Jake for that small section, and I'm like, I don't want that to happen again. So I was like kind of eating and drinking the whole time to make sure I'd be like ready to go a little bit. And then once you told me that you wanted me to pace, me and Brittany were trying to figure out like where to go next because we had like 5 or 6 hours until we saw you next. We are like, gosh, do we go into town and go get some food or whatever? And then we were like debating. I don't know. I'm like, wait, I have my van here, so I made us some like tacos and stuff while we were still at that aid station. So got a nice meal in before I met up with you to pace you. It was funny.
Yeah, thanks for doing that for her because she really appreciated that. That was clutch.
Yeah, dude,
She was like,
it was
"Oh,
funny. We
I
were all
was
just like
so
hanging out.
hungry," and
Yeah,
then Kate just like whips me up these tacos and like, yeah, that was cool.
yeah. We were
So
like,
I,
I didn't even think about it either. I'm like, I mean, I do have like a whole kitchen right here. I was like, I could make us some food.
Sick.
yeah, because I came into there and I just remember, um, dude, I like came back to life and because I think you guys thought I wasn't eating anything, but like
Yeah, dude,
really,
we didn't know
I,
at all.
I
And
really was.
right before you came in too, we were like, do we, like, as crew, do we force you to eat? Like, do we not let you leave until we like know you're eating or whatever? And I think that video I took of you in that aid station, I don't think I edited any part of it. It was 1 minute and 15 seconds long. Like, you're in and out of there so fast. And we were just like, well, that answers that question. He's not hungry. And you're just gone. So we were like, just debating. We're like, do we make him eat? Because we didn't know you were eating at all the other aid stations at all. We just thought you were taking a few gels here and there. But
Because my
yeah, you were
plan
in and out of there
was
so fast.
like get like my scratch high carb, whatever my water, and then I was gonna eat down at the Washington, which is what I did. Um, yeah, that power line descent too. I mean, Harsha, what did you or Jake Harsha, what did you guys think? I mean, Jake's already we did that, but Harsha, what
We
did you think
got
of power line?
the KOM down that.
Oh, is
What?
it? Do you get a kill? Nice.
You did?
No, you did, bro.
No, I got it down the first descent.
Oh, I think I got down power line. I'm
No,
sorry.
I was ripping down power line. I think I was going like somewhere in the 13s down power line. I didn't get it on power line though. Uh, Harsha, what did you think of that power line descent?
Yeah,
That's the worst.
I think that's the worst. That's the worst descent after 58, probably 56, 58 miles into the race, and then. But I had a pacer, so I met my pacer at General Springs, and then he said like, "Dude, let's just run down." And then I was like, "Okay, fine, let's do it." And then yeah, we just at slow speed though, but we didn't just like go like just bomb the section, but we didn't walk, so that was good
Oh, it's good.
because I knew that if I just run that section, there's hot food at Washington Park. So that was the plan. Like,
Damn.
just yeah, just don't apply like cut, like just not brake, just kind of like glide and then finish the section. But I just wanted to just finish that section, dude. It sucked. it
That sucks.
yeah,
I mean, there's rocks like this big, like
it's
size of
huge. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It's bad.
and it's kind of like choose like pick your own adventure. Where do you want to go? Because there's like not really a set trail. You're just kind of like,
Yep.
all
There's no
right,
set trail.
where am
Yeah.
I going?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you get
And
to
then
the
hiking
bottom.
poles, recommended.
Yeah,
Yeah, you,
poles
you
for
definitely
sure.
need hiking poles. Yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
Jake, did you use your poles going down that?
Yeah, I do have a slope. I was kind of like, get down it, don't die.
Dude, I just put my poles away and I just
No
I
pole.
remember
what the
no,
hell?
I didn't do poles, bro. I just remember there were like um two dudes that I kind of just saw them like doing the sideways thing, and I just put my
Oh,
music on full blast. I didn't even say a thing. I just went, and then I remember. So this I think kind of was definitely General Springs, but I would say down at the bottom of Washington was kind of like a mental turnaround for me because I remember coming in and I for some reason like mashed potatoes were working really good for me. I would just do mashed potatoes with a ton of salt
yeah.
in them and I would just smash that down. But I remember coming in and there was a dude eating like a full bowl of the pasta and
Yeah.
meatballs and stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, this is a dude I can take. I'm like, hey, can you just fill up my, the little collapsible cups? I just was like, hey, can you fill this up with just plain noodles? And I'm like, I'm gonna go. So I just took the noodles, put it in my pack, and I remember talking to some of the aid station
Put it in your
volunteers.
bag. You
Yeah,
fill it.
no, I just closed the top and like put it in my pack, and I was just eating like individual noodles
Like,
out as I
not a
went.
food. Yeah. Yeah.
So I remember because the whole point, like leading up to this aid station, I'm like questioning, can I sub 24 this? And I remember asking the aid station people, I was like, hey, do you guys think I can sub 24 this? And they're like, yeah, you can do it. You just got to keep moving. And like at that point, I remember talking to myself and like saying, look, you have all these aid station volunteers, like your crew, like your friends, they think you can sub 24 it. So like now it's time to like believe in yourself and like make it happen.
Good.
And like at that point I was like, okay, this is like it's almost like that section before Myrtle. Like, you're running at the base, it's all super runnable. And I just remember like, dude, I just put my head down and just put my music full blast and I was just going as fast as I could, man. And I remember there was a dude, DJ Fox.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, we were going like I climbed Myrtle with him, and he blew past me on the cabin loop, and I was like, I need to
Probably
catch.
top five.
Honestly, no, dude. I think we were like I was seventh maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were in seventh for most of it.
Interesting.
So I'm hitting that section and I see a light ahead and I'm like, okay, that's probably DJ. And I remember like running up on him and I yell, I'm like, hey DJ. And he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, I came back, bro. So we just like teamed up and we were just like ripping that section, bro. Like just going at it, and I was like, I just remember I kept asking, telling him, I'm like, dude, we're sub 24 in this, and he's like, yeah, 100%. And I come into what was that? Geronimo. Yeah, it was Geronimo. I come into
Yeah.
Geronimo, and I remember seeing. I don't know who Edder's runner was, but I remember seeing him and Tyler Welch, and they were
Yeah,
both like, yeah,
Tyler texted me about that. He's like, dude, I felt like shit. He's like, everything went wrong. He's like, I just somehow turned it around. He's like, he said he was in that station for a while.
yeah, because I rolled up, and that was another one where, well, DJ blew past me, and
Oh, really?
I don't know if that was a good call on him because I told him I started getting that, not bonking, but I started getting
Yeah.
hungry,
Pushing
and I was
forward.
like, dude, I need to eat, bro. Like I'm about to like bonk out if I don't.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go, and I'm like, cool, I'll catch you. So I just ate again mashed potatoes, salt,
That's a
and I
savage
think I
thing to
added
say
some
when you're like,
noodles, and I just took off, bro. Like I saw it was a moment that I could take two souls right there, and I was like, I'm going, man.
oh, so you took both? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Do you
How
remember
was
Tyler at all, or did you just meet him at the finish?
nope. He would so he I passed him on the first descent. He passed me going up the second climb.
And then you
Didn't
didn't
see
see
him
him.
until
Sure.
Geronimo, and then I didn't see him after I passed him.
Dude,
What was
weird for me around there, cause oh, actually, I know what happened. But like, I would like race. I came into that's doing shit with. So it was good until then, cause I kept passing people, but I thought something was weird, cause I kept every person I would pass like wouldn't let me pass, or like I would come up on them, they would be walking. I go, "There's another person, let's catch them," and I would run up on them behind them, and then they headlamp back at me, and then they start running. Yeah, like everyone, and I'd pass them and keep going, whatever. But like eventually, I knew I'd catch them because they're walking. And then I came into Geronimo, and I started getting tired, like half a mile out from Geronimo, and I was like, "Great, Geronimo have like 5 or 6 caffeine gels. I'll be tired. Perfect, great timing." Um, and then I come into Geronimo and I ask, I'm like, what place am I in? I'm like, everyone's fucking racing me. Like, I didn't ask once where I was, but I was like, this is weird. Everyone is like not letting me pass. So like, what am I in? So then I asked them, and they're like, oh, you're like 20th or something. I was like, oh, then what? Why the fuck is everyone like not wanting to get past? Um, but it was just weird. But I got in there. I was like starting to get tired. I was like, okay, sweet. Like drop bag, whatever. Here's my number. This is my what 72, I think, Geronimo. Is that right?
72? Yeah.
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 So perfect. I'm like drop bag. Let's go. I was like, I'm gonna eat one solid food and then get out of here. And then they're like, hey, can't find your drop bag. I'm like, well, fuck. Where's my drop bag? And they're like, we can't find it. And then I just was like, all right, well, let me try to eat some stuff like at this aid station, and then we're gonna go. Like I whatever. There's nothing I can do. So I was eating so good. My stomach turned around at mile 40. I was doing what I normally do, same shit I did at Coyote 2 Moon, just gels. And it works. Gels, literally. Gels and then solid food. So like I had pasta, whatever, ramen or soup, whatever, rice. Um, so I left, and I was just like, okay, Ryan. Oh, I picked up Ryan at 40. I don't know if I said that, whatever. But but Ryan, who's already done what 30 miles at this point, savage. But I go, Ryan, I'm gonna complain to you for 1 second. I'm fucked. Why don't they have my gels? I'm like, this is starting to get bad. I'm starting to get really tired. They don't have any of my gels. I go, this is fucked. You're gonna have to keep me awake until I get either sunlight or I get to the next until I see my mom at 8:45. Like I'm I'm not what I was like I'm gonna say it once. I did not just say it once. Like I'm gonna say it once and then I'm done, bro. Like and I knew that I was gonna start to get bad. And then within half a mile, I couldn't stay awake, dude. I like forgot who Ryan was. I like couldn't figure out. I was like who's my pacer? Like, I was like, oh, is it? And I would like say, I would like almost say the wrong name, and I'd realize like, okay, and then I was just kind of like hearing him talk, and I would go, and I'd just be falling. So I was like, I'm so tired, Ryan. I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I'm so tired. He said, come on, let's just keep going. I was like, I need to sleep. Just like muttering, and like can't. Oh, I was not able to run anymore. I was just walking and walking and couldn't. Oh, it was so bad, dude. And it was just like I was trying to like follow his feet so I didn't like drift off, and I just couldn't. I just lost it, dude. And I was like, oh, I need to eat something. I'm not eating, so I ate these fucking nasty. I had these nerds in like Sour Patch. Dude, I swear they were expired, bro. The moment I ate them, I was like, God, dude, they were not good. I think they were from Uray, and the bag was ripped. Dude, like within a minute, my stomach just flipped, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is so bad. I felt so nauseous. No energy for food because I couldn't eat. No caffeine, and I just died, dude. I was just following his footsteps. Like trying to puke, I couldn't puke. I was like trying to let it out, dude, and just following him. Oh my god, it was so bad. Eventually, we got to. I was taken to 80. So eventually, we got to that 85-8 or whatever before the West Weber Trail. And I got up there, and I'm just like, dude, this is so bad. Like I just went in the bushes and just puked like 10 times. I was like, I need to get this out one way or another. And I just stood there until I was like, I don't care. That was the first time I've been in a race. I was like, I need to get this out of me. This is so bad. So I puked a bunch, felt a little better, ate some food, but I'm still so far behind on nutrition because I wasn't eating. So I was so fucking sick, and I couldn't stomach any gels because that stupid fucking nerds. Oh, dude, I was so. Oh, and I got so angry, dude. I was just so mad. I got my poles, dude. I got my poles and was whacking trees and screaming. Like, dude, I'm not angry. Like, I'm never angry. I literally had people at your rate. They're like, dude, you're the most positive person. So like, dude, I'm never angry. I was so mad, dude. I just couldn't get out of my head. I was just like, I can't believe that this is like I just couldn't do anything about it, and I just felt like it was just gone, dude. And at that point, I was like, this just sucks. It just wasn't. There wasn't much more to it than this sucks. So that's my spiel. Oh my gosh, bro! It was just so bad. That was probably the lowest point I've ever hit in a race. I was so angry. It was just like everything from the first 40 and then that just like piled on. I felt so bad for Ryan. I was just screaming and like, dude, I don't know. I don't do that, and I was mad, bro. I'm surprised my pole didn't break. I thought my pole was gonna break. some sturdy poles, bro.
Dude, first the mountain lion encounter at Uray, and then now that. Like, your
Yeah,
poles have
dude.
been through a lot, man.
I was so much happier with the mountain lions though, dude. I wish I was climbing up freaking Richmond, dude. Even though that climb sucked, I was happy at least. I was so upset. I was so mad, bro.
Dang, yeah, I never
Yeah.
knew any of that happened to you. That's a lot, dude. Well, props
Yeah,
for
I'm really
pushing through
sorry
that,
for Ryan.
dude.
I felt so bad for Ryan. I was like, dude, I swear I'm never like this. This is just like like I've never lost my shit like that. Literally in my life, I don't think. I was just so angry looking back on it. Just like, bro, you know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. I had all these high hopes, and I was just like, this is just
Dude,
it
this
happened,
it
bro.
happens, man.
Dude, same thing happened to me. So I
Yeah,
I came into Geronimo. I got my 8 bag. I think that's the farthest I've ever run. And then
yeah,
I don't know. I was tired at that moment. So what happened was, if you remember, they had it actually got cold at that point of the time. Probably it was. I'm not sure about the time. It was definitely midnight. And then they had. So if you just go inside the tent, they had like warm sleeping bags and then like all the warm stuff. So I just went inside just to sort out my bag. But then I was so tired, I just kept staring at my bag for like 40 seconds or so. And then, so my pacer was like, I'm gonna have some food. I was like, okay, dude, like, and I said to him, we just like staying here 2 minutes, that's it, like, no more than that. And then I go there and then I open up my bag and then that's it. Like, I just can't process. So you know what I did? I didn't even take a single gel. I just rolled it over, clipped it, and then I'm done. And then because and my patient was eating, so I was like, dude, like just stop eating. Let's go, let's go. And then he's like, hey, I want to eat. He's like, no, let this go. And then that was the first mistake because, and now I'm like, I think Geronimo is the last. Because I didn't have a crew, and then Geronimo is the last point
That's
where
it.
you
Yeah.
get drawbacks, and then because the next one is the finish line, I didn't even take one single gel from the back. So now I'm low on food as well, dude. And then I kept on going, and then I think on the climb, I just realized I don't have like enough gels. I was like, oh, and then I'm turning to my pacer. So I'm like, dude, I made a mistake. Like, I didn't even take anything, like, from the eight bag.
Oh my gosh, Harsha, you were out of it, huh?
And then,
That's where hundreds differ from 100Ks, huh?
yeah,
Right?
and dude, at that point, you just gotta like keep moving. Like, you just can't think, oh my, like I don't have food, like I don't have gels. You just gotta like keep going.
Yeah. No one
Hey,
Yeah,
but that's where the reserves come into play right there. The reserves,
yeah,
boy.
the reserves. Yeah,
You had to tap in for a bit.
you just gotta tap in. Like, so I was just taking like one. I didn't even time my gels. So right now I just like take one gel and then just keep running. You get tired at some point. So then power hike. You get tired at some point. You walk, and then you get back your legs. So you just run, power hike, walk. So it was just a loop. And then at one point you just get you're exhausted, and then I just take out another gel and can't gulp it. Just take one sip and then just keep
Yeah.
moving. But
Were you hallucinating at all, Harsha?
I think uh, just once because there was a runner ahead of me, and then he was kind of like wearing all white clothes, and then like the I think it's salmon or ultra inspire vest,
Yeah.
which is white in color, and then he just stopped at some point. It was probably on top of the rim, just before the dawn who ate, because that's probably somewhere close to the dawn. And then I was so tired at that point, and then he actually started to move because he was kind of figuring out his vest. He just took off
Yeah.
his vest, and then I thought it was an animal or something, and then I just stopped, and then so my pacer was behind me, and then I just stopped, and then I just screamed his name, and he's like, "Dude, there's something in the front. Let's just stop." I thought it's an animal, and then he's like, "No, don't worry, it's an honor." So I was like, "Okay, so something's happening here." I think that was the only point, but then after that, it was dawn on top of the rim, and then that was beautiful. Like I think that was one of the
Then
most
you were like,
beautiful, yeah,
sunrise,
thing. Yeah, sunrise in the race, like it's so beautiful.
right?
And you know when that thing happens, you get that boost of confidence, and now you know you got this race because you see the sunrise, you've gone through the night, and then
You've gone through
it's
the hard.
what mile 82 ish or something,
Yeah.
and then your mind says, okay, it's like 100, like 18 more miles to go. So, but that's the mistake I made. I thought the race was 100 miles. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
we can talk about the end. But yeah, that was the big mistake what I made. I think mile 80-ish and then probably 82-ish. I like I caught up with the sunrise, and then I was like, okay, it's like 18 more miles. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey,
Heck
Cade,
yeah.
you want to take over from here? This is when you picked up 10.
So,
You want to take over from here? This is when your time came in.
Yeah, I can. Let me say one thing before I get to Cade. So, coming into the Donahue aid station, because before I had left Geronimo, they had let me know that third was up ahead. So that's how I knew that DJ and I were in fourth and fifth. And I smashed, the food kicked in and I just smashed that climb going up into Donahue. And I remember I see a light up ahead and I was like, oh my gosh, that's got to be third place. So I catch him and I pass him. Didn't really say much, and then I come into the aid station, and this was like the second time where I wanted to know where I was at, and I was like, hey, what's the gap to the front, and like how far is second? And she was like, oh, it's like an hour and a half to the front, and then you got like 40 minutes to second. And she was just like, yeah, you're like, that's a huge gap. You're probably not going to catch him. And I'm like, okay, like, well, I'm just going to try and hold podium then. And I just freaking bombed that second to last climb. Dude, and I was just, that last climb, bro, up to Cade, I was just, dude, breathing so hard, like, didn't stop, like, just digging the poles in. And then, yeah, I'll let Cade take over for this next section because this is where he picked me up.
Yeah, dude, you were moving coming through there. Like, I set my alarm for 1, I believe. Like, I slept for like an hour and a half or something. Set my alarm for 1, and we were expecting you to come in at like 2:15 or something. And so like I was all ready to go and everything, and I was like eating a little bit, and then I went for a walk like out in the just like through the trees a little bit. 'Cause I was getting kind of cold and I had my coat on and stuff, and so I just went for a walk. And while I was out there, I see a headlamp coming, and at this point, I thought we were like keeping track of how many people have come through, and so we're like, all right, we saw 2 people come through is all, so we're like, oh, we have time, like it's still gonna be a little bit. And so I'm like walking out there, and I see a headlamp, and I'm like, oh, that's third. And then all I hear is, "Where's Cade?" While I'm like still out in the woods, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then start running back up there, and grab my poles from my front seat in my van, lock the van, and then 30 seconds later, we're already like moving, running the fire road because you once again stopped for like maybe 2 minutes. I think Brittany like gave you new flasks, and that's it. I think I don't know what you took, but we were moving right away. It was crazy. We were like, I just assumed that we like miscounted, or I didn't hear the other people come through because we were like, I'm pretty sure that was third place, but all right. And then so we were running that fire road a little bit, and then Brittany was leaving to go to the finish, and as she was driving by, she like holds out a number 3 to me, just try not to let Tim know. And I'm like, 3? What do you mean? And she's like, he's in third. I'm like, oh, damn, all right. And I didn't know Tim knew this at that point, so I was like, I was gonna keep it quiet, like I wasn't gonna say anything. And then I think she told you that you were like 15 minutes ahead of your A goal, and we were just once she passed, we're like, all right, this is kind of awesome now. Like you're racing for the podium, and it was more like exciting for me because you knew already, and so thought I'm like just keeping this on the DL. I'm like just trying to keep you level-headed, keep you going the whole time, and then maybe I'll mention it later and be like, oh yeah, by the way, you're in third. But like you knew the whole time, so we just like kept a good pace for that whole fire road, and we're cruising along. But you can add more context to your aid station stop and everything, but that was my part.
Nah, dude, I think that was good. And then I'll just kind of like take it to the finish and let you guys go after this. But yeah, we hit that descent, and I mean that was the one part of the course that I had checked out, but before coming into this year, so I kind of knew it was what I was walking into. And I remember this was actually kind of where, Cade, you surprised me because I tried to drop you on that descent, And I was like, dude, this guy, like, he's good at running technical stuff. Like, I was like, dang, like he can rip, dude. Um, so yeah, we hit that descent, and I remember it's all like it's all pretty runnable through that section. And I just
Yeah.
remember I kept telling him, I was like, hey, dude, like, do you see any lights? Like, I was like, can you keep checking? He's like, nah, dude, there's like no one behind you.
I was
And
looking the whole time too. I was like, because I was getting nervous. I'm like, all right, you're in the top three. Like, I'll feel like shit if we get past, you know. So like, I'm looking back the whole time, and there's some houses in that area, and so you're seeing lights. And so I'd stop every now and then and be like looking through the trees. I'm like, are those lights moving? I couldn't tell. But in my head, I was getting nervous that people were coming. And but yeah, I don't think anyone was even close to
and
us. But
I feel like too in that little canyon, you kind of, especially if you're running through there at night, you get turned around a little bit. Like you were saying,
yeah,
like with the lights, like those were, now that I think about it, they were actually to the right of us, but it felt like at some points they were like directly behind us.
yeah,
So yeah, we're just kind of going, and then just running. I think I remember you telling like we're maybe what 5 miles out from the finish, and I'm like, dude, like I want to push right now, but I'm just gonna like stay steady, just cause like like at that point, my feet were starting to hurt pretty bad, and like my quads were just smoked, and we're just going, and we're maybe about what 2.5, 3 miles out, and I see a little light, like maybe a half mile, 3/4 of a mile ahead of us. And I was like, I remember looking at Kate and I was like, dude, is that second? And he's like, I think so. And I just remember I was like, I can't push right now. And you were just like, dude, just stay steady and like we'll catch him. And I was like, all right, cool. So I just stay steady, um, start descending down into like the little lot, the trailhead where the last aid station is, and we just blew through that, right? I didn't really stop. I can't remember. Yeah,
yeah.
pretty
We
sure
ran
we
right
just.
through it. You asked
You better, huh?
the lady a question, and well, backing up a little bit, we saw his headlamp like three separate times, because you would only see it for like a second, and then he's behind a tree or whatever. And so I swear every time it was right away. You were like, I could tell you were getting fatigued because you were like stubbing your toe a lot, tripping and stuff. And then I think that's when you're like, I'm like, I got nothing left, man. Like I gave it all. And then like I swear a minute later we saw the headlamp for the first time, and then we were both like, all right, like, oh, that's cool. And then that's what I told you. I was like, just stay this pace, dude. Like we're obviously catching him, so just like chill out. And then I just remember seeing it like three other times, and it was like the same conversation every time. You were like, dude, I don't know if I can go. I'm like, it's fine, dude. Like, stay the pace. And every time we were seeing him, we were getting closer. So I was just like trying to tell you, I'm like, dude, don't push. Like, you're fine. Like, stay what you're doing. Cause yeah, dude, you were tripping a lot in that last little bit, dude. You could tell your legs were just toast. And then,
And
yeah, so
the road.
once we hit that road, we blew through that aid station and still like running through that like driveway area of that park. You were still like, no, dude, I'm not gonna push. And I just remember we turned that corner and we see the guy's headlamp like 200 yards away or something. And still, you were like,
Yeah.
dude, I can't. And then like maybe 5 more seconds, you go, wait, and then we took off. I was just waiting for you to have that like flip of your mind. Just we were just going. I'm like, dude, we're gonna catch him. We're gonna catch him. And then finally, you were just like, wait, and then yeah, you were like,
Cause I thought too that the finish, I thought I only had to the restaurant.
Yeah,
So I was
same.
like, okay, I have to, if I'm gonna make a move, it has to be now. So I just remember start running up the little incline, go down that little descent. We turn the corner. He's like right, maybe 50 yards ahead, and I'm pretty sure that's when you started recording.
Yeah.
And I just put in a surge because I was like, if this guy, I don't want this dude to like have any hope. And I just passed him, and I just hear him go like, "Oh, you got this," because he tried for a little bit, I think, and then there was just like there was no hope. But I
Yeah.
started second guessing that I went too early because we turned left, and I'm like, I start going like, "Where's the finish, dude?" And I start like looking down at my watch, and I'm like zooming in, and I'm like, oh man, like I went too early. I'm gonna burn out. This guy's gonna catch me. And then I start seeing I start hearing Brittany, and I see her in the road, and I'm like, oh, it's right here. And then that's where I just freaking kicked it in, and then I just pulled a Herschel at the end, dude. And then I realized I was like, dang, dude, 22:38. I was like, man, that's crazy.
Dang.
Dude, I had a
That's
7:47 last mile. That was the last little bit. And
Hey, all I can say is that you don't want to get if it's a 100-meter dash to the finish, you don't want to be next to Tim, unless you're named Herschel. That's the other person you want to be.
dude, all the credit to that dude, to the guy that got third. I can't remember his name, but
Dude,
he did not give up either. Like when you passed him, I like I was recording the whole time, and I said something to him too, like good job or whatever. And I was still recording, and I'm like, I didn't want to like look back at him to like see how
dude,
close he was, and so like, I waited a little bit, like maybe 2 minutes or something, and I looked back, and he was still like right there, and we were still going up
oh,
that long climb up to that restaurant, and we were still like moving, and I looked back, and he was like still right there, and I think I told you, I was like, you got to keep going, and then pretty much once we turned at that restaurant, then I was like confident that you were good because you also like kicked it in even more once we turned, and then that guy he totally slowed down. Like I think you ended up beating him by like 3 or 4 minutes or something.
oh my gosh.
So in that
No, it was
last
like
little
two,
section,
dude. It was like 2 minutes.
Wow.
it might have been closer to that, but still, like he was right there for a very long time. Like he didn't give up at all. And then I
That's
also don't think
insane.
he knew we were coming up until we were 100 yards from him when you were gonna pass him, because he was not moving
And
very quick at all.
it's too late
And
at that
then he
point.
kind of, yeah, and then he kind of tried to put in a little effort, but yeah, dude. And then the last like quarter mile was so fast. I was filming you the whole time, and I'm trying to stay as like steady as possible to try to get a good video.
As you're
And then
sprinting.
and then I'm like also sprinting, and then I was like, I told you, 'cause we were planning, we're like, all right, I'll try to go ahead of you and turn your headlamp off, and I'll try to get like a decent video of the finish. And then you're just sprinting, and I'm like, dude, that's not happening. So I just followed you right in behind you through the finish line. It was funny. It's still a great
Aw,
video though.
That
Heck
video
yeah,
is
dude.
badass. Like,
You know.
yeah, best finish, dude. That's so
yeah,
awesome.
How was that last section for you, Harsha?
dude. I I think so. My pace had checked, and then I think I was like 42nd or something overall after the Donahue aid. And then I thought like going into the aid station, it was probably around like in the morning. I'm not sure about the time, but then I saw a lot of runners like they were like tired, and then they had like hot pancakes and stuff. So they sat over there, and then they were just ordering pancakes, and I was like, nope, not eating it. I'm gonna like pass all these folks because if you remember after the aid station, it's a steep downhill, but it's runnable. So I didn't eat. I just like from this point, I was just like sipping Coke at each aid station and then just running. So I did probably I passed like three or four of them up until I think mile 100. So that was a mistake. So I just kept talking to my mind and just convincing my mind that the race is at mile 100. And then when I reach mile 100, I'm still on the canyon. And then, dude, that broke me. Like that point, it broke me. And then I knew it's like 6 more miles. And then, yeah, from that point, I was unable to run and then
Like
slow hike. And then
hours.
the worst part was people passing me. So I was like,
Oh
okay.
no.
Then I was fine. It was not my day, and then I made a lot of mistakes, and then I was like, okay, let's just finish this race. So and then yeah, I was just walking, and then I met Jake. He was like, he finished. He was like cycling, and then I met Brittany as well. But there's one part where you go down the road, like you don't cross the road. You go. It sucked because I thought I could run that, but it's because it's the first part you can't run over when you go inside the tunnel.
Oh, it's so sketchy.
It's so sketchy, exactly.
Yeah.
So that broke me as well. So I was like, you know what? Okay, let's just go slow pace and then probably for the last quarter of a mile just run. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then just cross the finish line.
Dude, Harshal, congrats though. That's so awesome. 3 weeks out, you signed up and did that. Obviously,
Yeah.
you got
3 weeks out? I didn't know that.
But
Congrats, dude.
congrats to you, dude. Like, I'm so stoked. You crushed it, dude. It took Tim and I 37 hours last year. So you were so far ahead of our time last year, and that wasn't even our first 100. So,
Yeah,
like,
it
Yeah,
was fun.
huge props,
We had a
dude.
fun time out there.
props, you're a beast. We knew Tim and I were both saying how we knew you were gonna crush it, so it didn't happen. Yeah, we weren't surprised. Heck yeah.
Jake, did you want to talk a little bit about that last or?
Bro, I'm gonna sound more whining. That's when the worst happened was my ankle, bro. Long story short, dude, some tendon flared up. Walked the whole way in, dude. Like the whole 15, 20 miles. Miserable, dude. Sucked. Main thing, tendon, loss of drop bag, and a 40-mile low from the right off the bat. Literally don't know what happened. Worst, not like worse. It's such a pretty race. I freaking love the race, but like, oh, most miserable race by like I literally had like it was not very enjoyable. Like most races I really enjoy. That was not. I was like I finished and I was just like, dude, I don't even know why I didn't quit. Like I've never felt like that, but I was like, dude, like I kind of almost regret not quitting, dude, because now my ankles. Okay, it's a little better now, but it was bad. I couldn't walk. I would go to work and I had to be on like my tiptoes to like walk around on my right foot. It's just so jacked up. But yeah, it sucked, bro. Like great people. I met a bunch of really cool people. And Ryan was awesome to kick it with him for like 100K. That was badass, bro. And putting up with me, that's even more badass, dude. Like I was fucking miserable for like most of those miles. But yeah,
You should talk about the little
stupid.
moment of Ryan leaving you in that section, because
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
get him, dude. I felt so bad, dude. I was like, Ryan, just go to the finish. I was like, please, I literally can't run. There's nothing I can do right now. Like my ankle's too jacked up to run. Um, like I need to just walk. Just go. Like, just finish, dude. I'll see you. Just hang out with Kate and Tim. I'll see you in a few hours, dude. Just go. I'll be fine. I'm gonna finish at this point, but like just go. Um, and he's like, no, I'm sticking out with you here. And then eventually started drifting off a little bit. I was like, thank goodness. I was like, I just feel so bad having him like have to walk this in with me. Because there's just no reason for him to. I was like, dude, you've already been here for so long. Like, I'm gonna finish. Just go. Um, but yeah, I had a good time hanging out with him. We had a bunch of good conversations. It was just there was a good chunk that was pretty freaking miserable. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm grateful I finished. I got another buckle. I'm happy about that. I'm not trying to
7
sound
hours
like,
faster.
yeah, it was faster too.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not trying to
dude.
sound all sorry for myself. I'm like, maybe I'll be a little more positive in like a week. I was just a little like, I don't know. It just felt like what happened. It was just weird. It was just weird, bro. But like, I'm happy I gutted it out and finished. I'm not like I should have dropped, but the ankle thing was a little bit much. That one it's okay. I'll be fine. I'll recover from it. But it's okay. And like the people I met were cool. So like definitely seeing my mom, like seeing all you guys, like you and Brittany was sick, and then running with Ryan for 60 was sick too. So like there was definitely a lot of good to take from it, but also it was just like I don't know. It was just like, damn, I already did this course, and I don't know. So that's my spiel.
It's a bummer Ryan couldn't come be on this.
I
Busy out
know.
there saving lives. But it would have been
I
funny
know.
to
He's
hear his
doing important
perspective.
things.
We'll get
Not
him
to
on
put Ryan down
eventually.
here.
We'll
Yeah.
get him
Just
on
kidding.
Jake, I'm never doing
after
that again.
after his saddles.
Literally, bro, I felt so bad. I was like, I'm so sorry, Ryan, that this is what this has turned into.
You
I'm
just
sorry,
you
man.
just owe him one now. You gotta face him for
I know. I
what does
told
he
him I'd
have
love to
next?
face him. He's saddles.
Oh yeah,
Saddles.
saddle.
We'll get him
No,
on.
I really am.
We'll get a recap of saddles when with him, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk to him a little
Once
about
he
how it was
once
pacing
he's
you.
sub 20s, let's get
Oh,
fast time up.
Heck yeah.
so I mean, next up, I mean, Cade, you got the big one coming up, first 100 miler.
I'm so
Dude.
stoked.
I
Nice.
almost
Good
You
luck.
you
I
you
almost signed
feeling?
up for a backyard this weekend. Like there's one like near here and my dad
Oh,
and
you should have
my
done it.
I know, but it was like it's $200. I'm like for a
Ooh,
little training run, I'm like,
Yeah, it's a little expensive.
whatever. And it's like fully like self-supported, and I'm like, why is it $200? It's kind of dumb. So
Yeah, it's too expensive.
I was like, I'll just focus on my training and my one race. So
Yeah, bro, you're gonna crush it. I'm so excited for
yeah,
you, Cade. You're gonna love it.
yeah, that'd be cool. I'm excited.
and
And
then I'll be out
Tim,
there. I'm gonna
Tim
do
will
the
be there.
50K, and then
Yeah.
I'll crew and pace you after. So,
Heck
Oh,
yeah,
that's
dude.
awesome.
It's gonna be sweet.
I anything else you guys want to add to any advice to people, Harsha, first time hundreds, or about the course, or are we all ready to wrap it up?
Uh, don't think, just do.
There you go. Yeah, sign up.
Yeah. Best case, you're gonna finish it, or the very best case, probably like top 20%. The worst case, you got a DNF. So
Yeah,
end of the day, it's win-win. You learn a lot, and you meet a bunch of amazing, cool people. So
agreed.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. Don't think,
Heck
just
yeah,
do.
man.
Heck yeah. It's a hard course.
Yeah, it's a hard
Do it though
course.
for your first 100. Don't like. You can totally do it for your first 100. It's hard. Like it's doable. It's not like ridiculous. Like I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, for
Sounds like we're
sure.
all going back next year.
Dude, I need. To, I don't want to, but I feel like I need to. I don't know.
Now you need to
I
go
don't know.
back in sub 24.
I
Yeah, you do.
know. I know. I do. It's like this weird thing. I don't know. I'm so fucking annoyed. I'm annoyed at myself too for not just being like more positive. Like I'm just complaining about it, but like I still had a good time out there. But it was just like I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to make more excuses, but I think a little bit was just like still dragging, like wrecked, like not like a legs, but a like central nervous system or something must have been like still a little funky. just because I was just screwy out there. I don't know. I'm not normally that upset. I was just so upset. I don't know.
See, that's
Not an
why you got to go
excuse.
back again.
I know.
Yeah.
Third time,
You're gonna do
third
it.
time's the
You're
charm,
gonna
as
do
they say, right?
it.
Bro, that's what I was saying for Mogollon, because that was my third race of the summer. And I was like, third time's a charm, dude. This one, no mistakes, it's gonna go well. And it was by far the worst one of the summer.
Dude, I had so much confidence in you, like having a great race too, because you were so chill. Like,
Thanks.
like before the race, you were like not really all that worried. Like both of you and you, Ray, were both very anxious about the race,
I was scared.
and you both did really well in your race. But this was like totally different. You were both so chill. I'm like, oh, dude, they're gonna do great, which you still did, but sub 24.
I mean,
You
it
got
worked
it.
for
You got
Tim.
it.
Dude, well, yeah, I'm stoked. I'm proud of all of us, but
Yeah,
it
you
was
guys
good.
killed
It
it.
was good. And we're gonna get Harsha at another 100 too. Cade's gonna crush the stuffed turkey. And Tim's gonna, I don't know what he's gonna do.
He's gonna
I'm
win
gonna
the
try and
50K.
Come get
I'm
the
gonna try and
FK2 with me.
sub 4 the 50K. That's what I want to do.
Yes, you never said before, dude. I want to see it.
No,
Tim, come get
I'm
the
sending
FK2
it.
with me.
Let me
Come
know
get
when
it
you're
Friday
doing
off.
it, and then
We're gonna
I'll,
get
I'll
it.
see what I can do.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do.
Totally.
Yeah, just let me know.
It's a team. The team already has it, so we gotta do it as a team. I need to not race for a few weeks, so I'm gonna do FKTs or something. I don't know. Maybe that's worse. Maybe I just need to not run for like 3 months. But
Just go bike.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know I gotta do my 600K or whatever. It's so stupid, bro.
All right, well, I think that's all we got for today. Yeah, first episode. Next one, we're gonna try and get our friend Herschel Shaw on the episode. He just came off fresh of winning the Virgil's Crest 50 mile. So stay tuned for the second episode. All right,
Here's
thank
some
you.
cheese training strategies. Thanks, guys. Take
Cool.
care.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.